With the second pick in the 2023 NHL Draft, the Anaheim Ducks have selected Leo Carlsson, the Swedish forward. Big surprise there. Gil Martin here alongside with our prospects expert, Hadi Kalakesh. We're now joined by Jason Hernandez of Locked On Anaheim Ducks to break down every angle of the selection. Jason, were you ready for this curveball?
A little bit. What's funny is about a month ago, before the accident, I actually had a whole podcast dedicated to what if this happens? There's a world where the Ducks would get Leo Carlsson, and here's why. So I actually outlined what would happen if they picked Leo. So I was kind of prepared, that little 10 to 15% chance he would get selected, and it's happened. I'm okay with the pick. If it was going to be either Carlsson or Fantilli, I would have said, yeah, take that any day, especially at number 2. Why not? As has been said by several scouts, he's one of the, if not the most intelligent players. Definitely a very high hockey IQ. So I am not at all disappointed with the pick.
Do you think he ends up playing in the NHL this year?
Probably not. He's probably going to go back to Sweden. Paverbeek just got done talking, and it's looking like he might go back to Sweden for another year, and definitely going to play World Juniors this coming year. I think Leo Carlsson wants that gold medal badly, especially with how last year's World Juniors ended.
Yeah.
Hadi, what do you think made the Ducks go with Carlsson over Fantilli?
Probably the intelligence and the awareness of Carlsson. He's a very cerebral center, sees the ice really well, but also manipulates play extremely well on the puck. In terms of the skill set itself, I'd say Carlsson's also slightly a better playmaker. Fantilli's got more of a finishing touch, definitely a better shot, definitely more, refined off puck movement in order to find space to release a shot, and just more of a shooting mindset. But Carlsson's one of the best players in this draft, getting off the boards and making plays towards the middle, at finding soft ice, in transition, especially, heading into the offensive zone. The skating routes he takes on and off the puck really help his team set up the puck in the offensive zone. So for me, Carlsson is just, he's stylistically different, but the floor is about the same for both of them. You're getting at minimum a second line center in Leo Carlsson. So it's just a matter of working up from there.
And now go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Gil.
No, Jason, go ahead.
To Hadi's point on that, stylistically, I could see him working as a second line center up the middle. And I don't know if, Gil, you were going to ask this, but now this raises the question. The Ducks have so much depth down the middle. Does that mean that maybe Zegras down the line, or maybe sooner rather than later, gets put into the wing?
That could work. Absolutely. Zegras has always been a player that I've seen more as a productive winger rather than a center, just based on what the center position entails. So I think that would be a great fit, just to have Zegras on the wing of Leo Carlsson down the road.
My man.
I think that'd be great. Yeah.
Same wavelength.
and Hadi, as far as his adjustment from the European size rink to North America when Carlsson does come over, how do you anticipate that process going?
Well, Sweden's been using more and more hybrid ice, and in some cases even North American ice. So the adjustment won't be as major heading into the North American rink. I think it's mainly the North American style. Sweden is a lot more chest-like, whereas North American hockey, in terms of the AHL and NHL, it's more like a dogfight between warring nations in the air with fighter jets. It's really just unpredictable. Everything's moving quickly. You need to react extremely fast. That's going to be the kind of point of contention for me with Carlsson, is how quick does he learn to up his reaction speed, up his defensive effort, up his defensive consistency. Those are some areas of concern that just put him slightly behind Adam Fantilli and Matvei Michkov for me, in a different tier. But I still think that he has the intelligence in order to adapt. He's shown that he's adaptable so far, working his way up to the SHL through the junior ranks in Sweden. So, when a player's that adaptable, it's not that much of a concern. Like I said, I'd be very, very, very surprised if he's not at the very least a second line center, and he has a lot of room to grow in that escape.
Jason, how does this fit in with the rebuilding program the Ducks are going with right now?
I think it would have been the same if it was Fantilli or Carlson at this pick.
Yeah.
They know they're not there yet. I think the good thing about having Pat Verbeek is he's doing a more proper teardown, tearing it down to the bare bones and letting the draft dictate where this team goes. Although free agency is going to be interesting because the Ducks have so much money to spend to get off the cap floor. So I don't know if this fast tracks them. I think getting Bedard would have fast tracked them, but getting Carlson with this pick, it'll help the process maybe in 2 to 3 years, especially when all the other past draft picks finally come to fruition. You still got a lot of picks. Hadi, I know you're familiar with a lot of these young studs that the Ducks have recently selected. Tristan Luneau, who's been killing it in juniors. Noah Warren, Nathan Gauthier, Mentikov, obviously, and Olen Zellweger. Holy cow, like, there's a slew of young talent. If everything meshes together, this could be a very strong team down the line. It won't be right away. It won't be immediate. It'll take a few years. But the core is just about there, if you agree with that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, definitely the defense is coming up. I mean, the Ducks are the first the first NHL team in history to have a defenseman from each of the 3 CHL leagues win CHL Player of the Year. CHL Defenseman of the Year. It's never before seen. Pavel Mintyukov is a monster. He's crazy around the edges, but that's just how I love my defensemen. Tyson Hines, rock solid defensively, and then Olen Zellweger is everywhere at the same time all the time. He's fantastic. So yeah, no, the defense core is coming up. I definitely agree with that. And adding Leo Carlson into that mix it makes for a really, really promising, a core of prospects that rivals with the best in the NHL.
All right, so reasons for hope in Anaheim. For more on this selection and all of the Anaheim Ducks' other moves around the draft and free agency, tune in to Locked On Anaheim Ducks for free on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.